What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about a few different horror topics in this video here today. We'll be talking about the Predator franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream 7, and the new Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer that just dropped at midnight today. So let's start off here with Predator. Predator Badlands producer, one of them anyway, said this about Arnold possibly returning for a new Predator movie. This report came from Deadline. He said, so he's been really wonderful. Arnold and Dan have met a couple of times now. He's been really interested in what we're doing. He's a real fan of what we've done so far, from what I understand, and we're really excited. After Predator Badlands comes out, we'll see and have more conversations. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to do something with Arnold, because that would be awesome. Don't do this. Please don't do this. Arnold is one of the best movie stars in Hollywood, but do not bring Dutch back. Please don't. Move forward. Don't look back. Move forward, don't look back. Do not do this. I'm just at a point where I'm expecting a lot more from Hollywood creatively, as I know many of you listening are, instead of them just circling the drain and just giving me what I feel at this point, for someone my age, is constant hand-me-down content. If I want to see Dutch, I can turn on Predator. I don't need to see Dutch in 2025 or 2026 or whatever year the next Predator movie would even come out. Just like how I don't need to see Sidney Prescott in 2026. I don't need to see Buffy Summers in a Buffyverse revival, but I'm looking forward to seeing those efforts. And we don't need to see Ripley back for Alien. The creative laziness is just becoming stale. You don't need to have Andy Barclay in another Chucky project. Stop doing this. I think that recent game, Hunting Grounds, actually revealed Dutch is still hunting but avoids aging by drinking predator blood or something like that. So that was enough for me. But how would you guys even bring Dutch back? Dutch hasn't appeared in this franchise since that original film, and I do not think it's a character that audiences still want to see any more of all this time later. It's just circling the drain. It's just creative laziness at this point. Give me something new. Give me something new with Predator. Predator and all these existing IPs, they can continue to thrive without the original stars. We need to learn to start doing that. Now, let's talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. Robert Englund thinks the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was premature. He told this to IndieWire. He said, I think the remake was premature. I love a lot of the actors in the movie, so I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I just think the timing was off. Okay, that's a nice way to put it. And I don't think he's not being honest there. I think he's being quite honest. I don't think he's not trying to necessarily say that the movie was bad. I think he genuinely thinks that the movie has a lot of redeeming qualities. So when he says I'm not going to say anything bad about it, I believe him. I don't think that implies he thinks the overall product is bad. I think he genuinely just doesn't want to be negative about the movie when there's so many people involved with it that he cares about. So I believe him. But what if it was premature and bad? I mean, Kyle Gallner was fine, and Katie Cassidy could do no wrong to me growing up, but the movie wasn't exactly what I or a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street fans were looking for as a new chapter in this franchise. This was an interesting section of the IndieWire article because it started going over Englund's thoughts regarding the rights and the Craven estate and New Line's involvement with the rights. And he said the obvious part we all know to be true. At some point, they are going to relaunch this series, and he's remaining consistent with the idea that Dream Warriors or something from the Dream trilogy should be the starting point to consider if you want to do a sequel to an old entry. Most of the article went over Nightmare on Elm Street 2, something that is considered very underrated in the franchise. But if you were a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, let me know why down below. Do you agree with Robert's sentiments that it was premature, or do you think that people were just too hard on that movie? Fingers crossed we get something new before 2035. Something in the next 10 years or sooner would be wonderful. Now let's talk about Scream 7. Asa Germann, who we know is starring in Scream 7, said this to Collider recently. I would say in retrospect, the thing that was most exciting to me about doing Scream was Kevin Williamson. This is the first one that Kevin's directed. Kevin, who created Scream and Dawson's Creek and Vampire Diaries and Cruel Intentions and so many things. Who is the greatest guy? Getting to be part of this journey in such a significant way was so cool. Getting to be part of that ensemble with all those people that have been involved in the film for so long. And I'm not going to say in what capacity, but nonetheless, stepping into that was one of the coolest things ever. I think people are going to love it. I think people are going to be really, really impressed with Kevin's foray into directing Scream. He's a genius. Now, to my knowledge, he is playing Anna Camp's son named Lucas, the Ted Bundy-like character that was highlighted when we discussed character breakdowns last year. Kevin had nothing to do with Cruel Intentions, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he had anything to do with Cruel Intentions, so I don't know what that's about. But he's right about Kevin being a genius. In terms of his contributions as a writer, he is a genius. That's what he is known for. And because of that, there's this trust that his direction is just undoubtedly going to be a masterpiece. It's going to be great. It just has to be, because he's a great writer. I'm glad he's getting to write another screenplay in the franchise he created, but that does not mean he's going to be a good director. Hopefully this genius writer doesn't become his own worst enemy. Like I've said from the trailer, it's clear to me Neve Campbell is giving another wonderful performance. I saw one of you suggest it looked like she doesn't have much chemistry with Isabel May. I don't agree with that. I fully believe the mother-daughter dynamic that was teased in the trailer. It looks like they're going to have a wonderful relationship, but the sentiment that it just gave Halloween 2018, that I do agree with. I haven't heard anything negative mostly about Scream 7. Everything I've heard from people who have watched it is that this film is great, that it's good. Nothing that's overly negative. It's been nothing but positive feedback from the ones who have seen it, but I'm still not jumping for joy over Kevin's directing. I'm just not. I want him to deliver something that is great. And going into it with skepticism for me is going to prepare me for something that is tame, or something that is spectacular, or something that is garbage. Because I don't want to go into it with all these expectations, and then if it's garbage, it bothers me to no end. I just want to go into it with skepticism to be prepared for a reasonable reaction to the film. But hopefully everything works out with Scream 7. And like I said before, what's on paper to me is much better than what was highlighted in this trailer. So yeah, they're saving the goods for the movie. I believe they are, but that doesn't mean you can't tease more of it in the trailer. You don't have to demonstrate all the context, but tease it in your trailer. Now, let's conclude this video by talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So the new Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer released around midnight today after circulating online for at least 1 hour prior. I don't know what's going on with these leaks lately, but that was crazy work. That was crazy. A couple of you actually sent me the link. I watched it and I was like, how are you guys finding this? Then I went on the subreddit, so I was circulating there. Then at midnight, a Universal rep sent me a press release. I was like, well, I'm not too shocked, because of course they caught wind of it. It was just a private link that people somehow found. But the trailer looks pretty good. Of course, it highlights Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard showing the OG pair of Scream killers seemed like a smart marketing tactic, because you can reel in Scream fans who were unaware of this pairing reuniting in this film. Now, it does a fantastic job convincing me that this will in fact be a scary affair as opposed to the last one. There's a lot of tense sequences that appear to be taking place in this new film, and hopefully it'll remind me why that game terrified me a bit when I was growing up playing it. If you're someone who has seen this movie, do not hesitate to reach out, because I know someone out there has watched it. I wasn't a fan of the 2023 movie, thought it was the worst movie of the year, if you recall, but hopefully Five Nights at Freddy's 2 can make me a believer. All the Five Nights at Freddy's fans out there who watch me, are you looking forward to this movie? Why or why not? Were you disappointed in the original film? Let me know why or why not. What do you hope to see different between the original and the sequel? Let me know all that down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.